Magic the Gathering's Arabian Nights. It's like buying pure gold. Hey guys, welcome back. MTG Moxman here. I'd like to welcome all the new subscribers in the last little while to the channel. Welcome aboard, everyone. Hope you're having a good time so far. Make sure you leave those comments in the comment section. I will always try to get back to you guys. And how's everyone doing today? Are we having a good day? Are we chilling out, enjoying? I hope so. I hope so. All right. Today we're going to talk about Arabian Nights gold. Not real gold, although it could be, I guess, if we want to change it into that. Arabian Nights, guys, is the first expansion set ever printed for Magic the Gathering. And what I've noticed lately is a lot of odd behavior on eBay and other selling platforms about how much these cards are rising by. And I'm not just talking like the reserve list copies of particular cards. I mean every card, from the common all the way up. Now, first of all, let me just show you a little intro here on what we're talking about. Arabian Nights was released December 17th, 1993. That's when it came out in stores. You could buy it. It was awesome. They were 8-card booster packs. I remember buying some in Toronto on a trip with some friends. Now, it was only a 78-card set. That's a very small first expansion. But it also only had 5 million cards printed in total. Okay? Now, the only thing smaller than that are like the original sets like Alpha, Beta, stuff like that. The really low print run sets. As an expansion, this is a very low print run. And there's only 78 cards. Of those cards, 27 of them are common, 51 are uncommon. Now, within those uncommons and commons, we're talking about their version back then of different versions of rarity, okay? So it could still be an uncommon, but it's their version of a rare, how they did it back then, okay? So there's different print runs for all these cards within that 5 million. And that kind of tells you what was actually a common and what's kind of like an uncommon, which is really a rare, okay? So as a set like this, though, when you look at it and you say, 1993, that's a long time ago. It is, right? Like we're coming up on 30 years, guys. It's been a very long time. But this set didn't have a big print run, did it? It was very small. So when this set went out there, a lot of people didn't even like a lot of the cards that came out because it didn't have the Magic feel. They were taking Earth mythology, right? You were taking Earth things and taking myths from, Djinns and genies and the Bottle of Solomon and all that stuff, old stories, and bringing them forward. It was very interesting. I myself did buy some packs because it was fun. I didn't care. I'm like, look at this pack, man. What craziness is in here? I was a little disappointed it was only 8 cards. I wasn't rereading it back then. I was just kind of ripping open packs. But that's how it went. So when you look at that, and you realize that it's that low of a print run, you got to look at certain cards. Because, what are we talking about here? So let's go over here and take a look at Ring of Maruf. One of my favorite cards from Arabian Nights. Because I saw a guy once, bring out a Wayne Gretzky rookie card in the middle of a tournament. Like the hockey player Wayne Gretzky. He had the rookie card, and he had a top loader. And Ring of Maruf says you can get a card from outside the game. So this dude went into his bag, and because there was no sideboards back then, guys, he went into his bag and he brought a Wayne Gretzky rookie. And the player he was playing against flipped out, called the store owner over, and said, "He can't do that." And the owner's like, "Well, it just says get a card from outside the game." "But what does Wayne Gretzky do?" And then the guy's like, "Well, he's awesome. He's like the great one, man. He can do whatever." But that's not really what happened. The card just sat there on the board and did absolutely nothing because it wasn't a Magic card, so he had no stats or abilities. But it was still cool. And the Wayne Gretzky player did win the tournament. Just for a little side note there, in case you were curious, he did win. It was a Merfolk deck. Very good. But look at that. 20,700 copies was the print run of Ring of Maruf. Only 20,700. Think about how many cards that is compared to nowadays print runs. Are you starting to get a picture of what I'm talking about? It's rare. Like, really rare. Now, if we're talking the commons within this set, an actual common, let's take a look here. All right. A Flying Men, which, by the way, was one of the best cards ever printed back in the day. We couldn't believe it. It was a 1/1 flyer for 1. Like, we'd never seen it. Flyers cost 3 or more. You might get a Mess of Pegasus for 2. Dragon Whelp was 4. It was crazy to see a 1/1 flyer, and then the guy goes unstable mutation. And it's like this 7/7 thing smashing you. It was just unreal. Now, this awesome Flying Man we see here, you're looking at 155,000 copies were printed. But I know lots of people who have 4 of this. A playset of 4. They're keeping it, right? I know lots of other people who are trying to finish complete sets of Arabian Nights. Complete sets. And the cards are just disappearing. We're going to get there. Don't worry, we're going to get there. I want to show you one more card, though, before we get to the rest of this conversation. All right. Library of Alexandria. This is the one. Guys, it had 31,000 printed. Look at this bad boy. I got one right here. I paid $1,100 August 2020 to buy this card. Okay? August of 2020. So, since then, this card is around the $2,000 to $3,000 mark. Since the buyout, since the reserve list card, it is reserve list. It's been going. But even if it wasn't, because it's Arabian Nights, and there's only 31,000 that were ever printed, its value is only going to keep going up. A lot more than what people think. What's been happening is very interesting. There are daily sales on multiple platforms. I've reached out to a lot of my vendors and the people I talk with at all the store level. They don't have Arabian Nights or very little of it, and they've started jacking their prices up to keep some around to say they have some old stuff. Even the commons have been jacked up a few bucks. Guys, they're disappearing. If you have Arabian Nights cards, I do not recommend selling them. Hold on to them. Hold the line. I'm talking even the commons. When we start seeing cards like this really disappear and nothing's on the market at all, and eBay and other platforms are starting to get less and less and the prices rise every day, every month, something's going on. So I took a look. I investigated. I checked the daily sales. I kind of tracked my way of tracking to see who was buying what. And there are a few people. Doesn't look like investors from what I can see because they're not hitting massive targets. There are people buying out the commons and the low-end, low rares, like a Rigmaroof. There are those people buying that stuff out. It's disappearing. Every day, there's 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 things that's disappearing. It's really awesome to see because it's what I would do. It's a very slow, drawn-out sale from looks like a little group of people, and it's nice and slow, drawn out because if they did it quickly, prices would get jacked up. When you do it slowly and you space things out across the entire platform, a common here, a common there, not taking 5 copies of something, a common. Let's take a wolf, right? Let's take the jackal. Let's take a nomad. And they start disappearing. And I know people out there who have 50 flying men. I know people who have 100 nomads. I know somebody who has 200 deserts. When you start taking all those people into account, they've decided to collect it. Anyone who tries to complete a set of Arabian Nights is going to find it extremely difficult. And I'm one of those people who've been trying to gather the cards for an Arabian Nights set. I try to buy one every few months. It's getting harder because the price have gone up so much, but I'm trying. So imagine somebody who has a lot of money. They can just come in and buy what they want. If they have a large pool of cash and they go, I want this. Those don't go back on the market unless it's going as a complete set. Usually don't get broken up. So that many more cards disappear. Eventually, I can see Arabian Nights stuff basically being museum quality. It's the first expansion of a famous game that's been around now almost 30 years. It's going to get there eventually. Arabian Nights, if you have them, just hold them. It's like holding gold. It is crazy to think about that you're holding some of that value of an asset. Even a common, when commons used to be 50 cents, and then they went up to $5, $10. When they start going up in value like that, you got to take notice. And because it's not a reserve list card, stores aren't really, well, most of them were not catching it. Right? One store caught on. I think it was 401 Games, has a couple of cards left, but they must have caught on because their stuff was cheap and now it's high. There's people out there doing it. I'm curious to know if you're one of those people, you watch my channel, I want to see photos, man. I'm curious because I'm tracking your sales. I know what you're doing. It's very interesting. So guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Remember, Arabian Nights stuff is valuable. Don't sell it if you have it, even a common. Hold on to it, guys. This is MTG Mox, man. Looking forward to seeing you all. I hope you're having an awesome day, everyone, because it's great to talk to you guys. See you soon. Somebody's buying it all up, but I'm tracking you. Hey guys, big shout out to all my patrons out there. Each and every day, patrons make the world go round. That's right. Thanks again, everyone. Patrons are amazing. Look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Have a great one. Shop smart. Shop as smart. You got that? You have to start to wonder why it's a box, don't you? Things go in boxes. Maybe it's things for the party when we get to 10,000 subscribers. Maybe. Fear the Banhammer!